What's up, everybody? This is your boy Food Junkie, just on my way to work. And you know how we do it on my way to work. We are liable to talk about anything and everything, anybody and everybody. We are liable to just have a conversation. Of course, y'all keep me company, and I try to keep you slightly entertained. Yeah, there's a lot been going on these YouTube streets and the world in general. And funny thing is that everything is related to each other. There's a lot of things related to each other, or it's not. But we're gonna talk into it. We're gonna talk about it, whatever. We're gonna talk about what's been popping, what's been happening on these YouTube streets right now. One aspect of what has been happening on the YouTube streets. Homophobia and the black gay man versus the black woman situation is going on right now. What we don't understand is that words are very important that we use and that we say. And I understand in our fits of anger, in our fits of hostility, in our fits of trying to shade, read, roast, gag each other, sometimes lines get blurred. Lines get very blurred, and we need to be very mindful of that. And not everything that we assume that we say is meant in the way that we say it. It takes I don't know what the phrase is or what the statement is, but repetitive actions basically tells people who you are. So if you choose to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, that's pretty much who you are. That's pretty much how you handle things. That's pretty much what your mindset is. That's the way your thinking is. So there are people out here who scream the word homophobic all the time, or I'm not homophobic all the time. Let's discuss both of those two different things, those two different types of people here on YouTube. If you're constantly making detrimental, derogatory statements towards someone of the same-sex loving community, LGBTQIA community, then more chances than not you will be labeled as a homophobic. If your go-to line is, you're not a woman, you will never be a woman, you wasn't born with a pussy, you know what I'm saying? Towards someone who is of the LGBTQIA, or I should say the black gay man, I should say, more than likely you are homophobic. More than likely it is sunny and bright, but it's still cold outside here in Atlanta. More than likely you could be labeled as a homophobic. You have homophobic traits, homophobic ideals, homophobic tendencies. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, if someone don't like you particularly, and they choose to use your sexuality against you, while in my personal opinion it may be wrong, it may be messed up, does not necessarily give them that title or that badge of homophobic. Now, I'll be honest with you. There are plenty of gay people that I don't like. Plenty of them. Does it mean that I'm self-deprecating? Do it mean that I'm self-hating? Does it mean that I am embarrassed or ashamed of whatever case may be of who I am? No. There's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for everyone. And certain homosexual people I just don't vibe with. I just don't fool with. Like, what was that little rapper who got shot in Florida? Him. I couldn't get down with him. Because I don't do the extra. I don't do I need to be seen. I need to be center of attention type of thing. But that's with anybody. Be it a homosexual black man, be it a straight black man, be it a straight black woman, a homosexual black woman, regardless of anyone or anyone of any race. I don't do the extra, let me be the center of attention type of personality, because it seems desperate to me. It seems weak to me. And I don't do the weak, desperate thing. My best friend, one of my good friends, I should say, I told you about him once before. He's 6'6", about 350 pounds. When we first met, him and I bumped heads. Not because he was extremely feminine, and I felt he was too big to be that feminine. That wasn't the case. He was extra. He would do extra stuff, and then when someone called him out and be like, "Get your punk ass out the way," well, it's not. He wants to break down in tears and be like, "Oh, well, you said because I'm gay." No, they said because you're doing too much. They're saying it because you're doing way too much. You're the biggest person in the room, the loudest person in the room, and you want the attention on you was not. And when you get attention in a way that you don't want it was not, then you want to shut down and say it's because you're gay. No, it's not because you're gay. It's because you're doing the most. And I would always have to remind him. He calmed down a lot now, but I would always have to remind him. Mind you, we was in our late 20s when we met, mid to late 20s when we met. Yeah, mid to late 20s when we met. So of course it's an age thing. It's what the perception of the gay black man should be, especially down here in Atlanta. It's a lot of different things and variables that come into that accord. But to the same accord is that you're doing too much. You don't have to try to force someone to accept you for who you are, or even acknowledge you for who you are. As long as you're comfortable within your own skin, that's all that really truly matters. But that story about him was not, because him and I bumped heads for a good several months because we met on a job, and I'm like, I was just shaking my head because like, you would do too much. You would do too much. He would just do too much. And it doesn't mean that I don't love and appreciate him was not now, but initially was not. It was just overwhelming. Like, no one wants someone to constantly take the oxygen out of the room. And that what some people choose to do. Just so happened he was a black gay man, was not, so it was associated with that. But also speaking of that, was not. Y'all know I'm married to a man. Y'all know that I am bisexual. Well, I identify myself as bisexual because I have a attraction toward women as well. And I have slept with plenty of women and been with plenty of women. I've been in relationships with a couple of women as well. But at this moment in my life, I've been with a man for, like I said, 17, 18 years. You know, has it all been, well, that's another story for another day. But yeah, I'm attracted to both men and women. So I consider myself bisexual, although I'm in a monogamous relationship now with a man. You know, but at the same time, every guy that I've been with have been a quote unquote masculine guy that walking down the street, you wouldn't know that he was gay. Walking down the street, you don't know that I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? You may question me because how I keep myself up and how I present myself was not, but just to automatically know, oh yeah, he's fucks around with dudes was not. You don't know that unless I want you to know, unless I tell you about it, this, that, and third, you know, type of thing. A lot of people say, well, I know because I can assume. You can assume a lot of things. I can assume that you eat shit, but that doesn't mean you eat shit, does it? You know what I'm saying? So we can go walk around here and do our assumptions all day long, but you really don't know something until someone actually tells you, or unless they exhibit traits and behaviors that actually, you know what I'm saying, give you the information that you so desperately may be seeking. I don't know why it's important, who someone sleeps with, this and the third, but these little back and forths that we're going through here on YouTube was not, where there are people trying to mock someone for transitioning, Jay Wilson, mocking Sarah, aka Chopper, or Chopper, aka Sarah. You know, I'm not quite sure what she wants to be called. You know what I'm saying, whatever pronoun they want to be referred as, you know. But that was messed up yesterday. The fact that, you know, people, especially a lot of women, choose the first thing they do is throw out the F word against a black gay man. And I'm talking about myself because a couple weeks ago, y'all know, Grimace, for no reason, chose to attack. And I don't know who Grimace is. I don't even know what Grimace is about. I don't know what they do. You know what I'm saying? And the first thing they said in their attack against me, why I responded was, which I wasn't offended by it, but it was just that that's the first thing they do. Oh, you faggot mother, da 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 da. For real? And every time you argue with a black gay man or with a gay man, what's that first thing you say is, you getting fucked, or you're doing this and you're doing that. And everyone who listens to me know what's up. But my question to you is, if all these bottoms out here are being fucked, who's doing the fucking? Could it possibly be your man, your dad, your brother, your uncle? You know what I'm saying? So in order for there to be bottoms, there must be someone who's doing the topping of them, right? So it's not offensive to say to someone who is a bottom, and this goes into the bottom shaming thing as well, all part of the homophobic mindset was not. And you can say, well, I'm not homophobic because I have friends who are gay. I like gay people as not. But if your first go-to is to denigrate someone based on their sexual position or their sexual orientation or their gender was not, could you possibly be homophobic as well? Could you possibly be homophobic when the first thing you say to someone is, oh, go get your pussy blown out? See, we say so many different things in the course of trying to argue, roast, gag, you know what I'm saying, shade somebody was not, that we don't take into account that, all this stuff is being taped. All this stuff is being recorded. All this stuff is being saved, downloaded, screenshotted, and this, that, and the third. So while we're quick to call someone else homophobic or there's a war against the black woman by the black gay man, do you not realize that what you're doing and what is being done by you, how you are accelerating and participating in the mindset and the culture of this whole homophobic man versus woman type of situation? Because when I was attacked by Grimmins, the first thing they said was, oh, you faggot, loose booty. First of all, loose booty. I haven't been fucked in 20 years. Like I said, I tried it, didn't like it, liked what I do, and moved on. So if the first thing your first go-to is that, what do you think my go-to is going to be? But to call you a black, ugly, fat bitch. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. And all of a sudden that I hate women? No, I don't hate women. I love women. I really love women. You know what I'm saying? Not only just in a metaphysical sense or the logical sense was that, but in a physical sense as well. I came from a woman. I have sisters. I have nieces. I have aunts, grandmothers. And they're all black women, and I love them dearly. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? If they come out left on someone was not, whoever they come out with left with, as long as they don't touch them, have the right to come left out on them. And it's not going to be, oh, well, that's my mom. Well, she was my mom when she did something that offended you. She was my aunt when she did something that offended you. She was a woman when she did something that offended you. Or just an older, they were older when they offended me. They were, you know what I'm saying, all these things when they offended me. So you can't use that as a crutch because it's not working out in your favor. Oh, I'm a black woman. You shouldn't say that about black women. Or I heard something about it yesterday on once. I think it was James Caldwell's live. He had a call in, and the call in started off with, "Oh, I'm not homophobic. I have a gay son. I have this. I have that." Was not. And then by the end of the conversation was not. It turned to, that five B's body's banging, and I just wish you could come up with some other way to address a black woman. Well, I wish a black woman would come up with some other way to address a black gay man, opposed to calling them a faggot, opposed to calling them out their name, opposed to calling them loose booty, opposed to saying derogatory things towards their sexuality and their sexual orientation. You see how that works? You see how it works when you want me to change or want a black gay man to change how they speak to you, when you're not willing and open to change how you speak to them. When you're not willing and open to change what it is that you say and how it is that you argue with a black gay man. If your argument with a black gay man is related towards his sexuality, his sexual orientation, and his sexual positioning, why would he try to comfort you by trying to take it easy on you, and I called you a black bitch. It doesn't make sense to me. It has to make sense. It's downright hypocritical when you are expecting a black gay man to change how he argue, fuss, and fight with someone who has just tried to denigrate him. Now, y'all, I understand completely that majority of my subscribers and my supporters are black women. And y'all know I love and appreciate you guys. So this isn't for the ones who support and who are advocates and who are not homophobic, because there's a lot of black women on here that are definitely not homophobic, who are straight, who are definitely heterosexual, who are definitely huge supporters of the black gay men here and truly understand what I'm saying about, this whole homophobic rhetoric and the black men versus black women thing. And now I understand that there's also a lot who would choose not to hear what I'm saying because I may not like and or get along with the people that you support and ride hard for. But you know what I'm saying is accurate. You can't expect a black gay man or anyone to fight with the rules that you set up. When there's a street fight and someone says, "Don't hit me in my face," what do you think I'm gonna go for first? I'm about to carve my name in your face. I'm about to let you know every time I look in the mirror, that was the wrong person to mess with. I shouldn't have done that. I should have thought twice. Same thing with verbal sparring with people. You say what will hurt the person the most. You go after what will teach the person the lesson to leave you alone. You just do. But you can't throw out homophobic and slurs and wording and have homophobic traits, but yet not allow someone to call you out on that. And when you're called out on that, whatever, you use it as an excuse as to why someone is trying to attack you or use for them to call out what they see in you. And this whole thing about, stop talking about my child. I don't think anyone's talking about your child. They're talking about your bad parenting skills. They're talking about how you parent, your lackluster of efforts to taking care of your child. And a lot of people have said this before. I think the person who said this was Mature. I heard her say it before, was not. Of course, Ms. Dana said this before as well. If you don't care about your child, why should they? If y'all are fighting. If you don't have the love and respect for your child to make sure that your child have a decent meal, why should I care about your child? If you're willing, and one thing that kind of bothers me, that would bother me yesterday in that conversation, and I don't think anyone said it on James Live. And y'all know me and James are going through a little rough patch, whatever, or nothing at all, whatever. We have nothing for each other, was not. But I still watched him last night. I still was entertained last night by his conversation he had. But what was never said is that the person was trying to say, well, she could see why Phi Bay was upset with James initially because James was rolling with VS when VS said she hoped someone comes into Phi Bay's house and put a instrument in her daughter's mouth. And it touched a nerve because she was sexually assaulted around the same time, the same age that Phi Bay's daughter is. I get that. I understand that. So, based on that logic, I see what you're saying about why Phi Bay was side-eyeing James. But what wasn't said, what wasn't brought up, what wasn't addressed is why aren't you side-eyeing Phi Bay? Because wasn't she the one begging, pleading, and prodding for Susie to go with her on a TV show? See, the hypocrisy is always real. Hypocrisy and double-sidedness is always there. When it fits the narrative that you want it to fit, you see it completely, you understand it. But when it's the truth, and the truth is out there, which we all know, you choose not to acknowledge it. So Phi Bay says she's side-eyeing everyone who is rolling with Susie, but she was willing to put money in Susie's pocket in order for her to get put on a TV show. So should, in essence, Phi Bay be side-eyeing herself? Isn't, in essence, Phi Bay should be looking at herself funny because she wanted to work with Susie at one point in time, after the fact that Susie said she wanted someone to come into her home and, sexually assault 5A's daughter. Now, to me, that is unforgivable. But yet still, after that, you chose to want to work with her and put money in her pocket in order for you guys to be on TV together. How does that work? Selective outrage, hypocrisy at its finest. I'm just saying, black women, well, I won't say black women, 5A is homophobic. She have said it on a numerous of times. She have said things, done things, displayed traits of homophobia. And all of a sudden, when a black gay man call her out on it, or when other women call her out on it, well, it's not. It's, oh, well, y'all picking on her, y'all jealous of her. Jealous of what? Picking on what? Calling out what she's done is being jealous of someone? Stating what they've said, regurgitating what they said is a sign of jealousy and hate? No. I always say less. The more you talk, the more people hear. The more you talk, the more that is revealed. And this has gone on for months. And there are videotapes out there, and videos out there was not videotapes. What is it, 1985? But no, there's videos out there digitally where 5A is heard saying on numerous of occasions at different times homophobic things. You ain't no woman. Women have breasts. Breasts have milk in them. You don't have no titties. You don't have no milk in your breast. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay for her to say stuff like that towards a black gay man. But when a black gay man defends himself, there's a problem with that? Y'all, check your homophobia at the door, please. Check your hypocrisy at the door. It is ridiculous. But yeah, you guys, like I always say, this is your boy Food Junkie. Not everything I say is meant for everyone. Not everything I say is meant for you to take in its totality. Take in what nourishes you, what helps you be your best self, and helps you be the best person you was ever meant to be. And discard the rest. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. If no one have told you that they loved you today, let you guys know that I love you. I really do. As always, you guys, love yourself, love someone else, respect yourself, and definitely respect someone else. Until next time, this is your boy Food Junkie.